And welcome back. It's going to probably be the last part, just because the My Hero story, especially when we have to focus on Deku, is definitely a little, is much shorter, because there's just giant swaths of the story that do not involve Deku at all. But we catch up with him after his fight with Bakugo, after the provisional license exam. Doesn't really go in his favor. And I skipped over that fight, because let's be frank, Deku hasn't even used any of the... he barely uses float right now. He's still getting the hang of float. And he doesn't use Black Whip against Bakugo ever because there's no need. If he wanted to, he could whoop Bakugo's ass, and there wouldn't really be a contest. So when Bakugo tries to go at him at full force, yeah, he puts in a couple good swings, maybe even lands a good shot, but Deku ultimately, finally puts him into the ground and tells him, "Poof, this is over." And that's where it's like, damn it all! It does change the relationship a little bit, where he does have to kind of now truly acknowledge Deku to some degree. All Might obviously shows up and apologizes for putting this burden on him. Now, someone did bring up that All Might's limit would be a lot shorter for the All for One rematch, because he gave Deku the quirk a lot earlier down the road. Like a year earlier. And that actually is a fair point. I will say it probably would still go the same way roughly. He's just a lot more sparse with the remaining energy he uses for his quirk. But anyway, they would still get in trouble. And, have to, do the cleaning. This is where Deku suddenly goes, boop, senses Mirio. There's like, hey there. Who are you? Mirio, upperclassman. So you're the kid who can, so you're the kid, huh? Interesting. Looking forward to seeing you around. It's like, okay, what the hell was that about? And so, eventually they meet the big three. It's like, hi everyone. It's like, you guys are gonna spar with him. It's like, wait, what? We're what? And so, Mirio quickly shows off his quirks. Like Goku, it's like Goku. Deku comes in, and doesn't even have One for All activated right now. Just rush it, and Mirio barely is able to just go permeation. Like, he's fast. Holy crap. Sorry. As he just, power! Starts ripping through Class 1A. But when Midoriya squares up against them again, this time Midoriya actually finds where he's going to be, just blasts a Ki Blast right at him. And Mirio barely is able to go again, go intangible. For Deku disappears, and this time actually lands a legit shot. In terms of raw speed, there's no one at this point who would actually be able to match Deku. Even Ida for traveling speed could do it, but that's traveling speed. We're not talking about straight combat speed. And we're talking about like that kind of instantaneous movement that causes like the after image and stuff like that. Beyond that, he's arguably the physically strongest in the class, especially with One for All. So just boom, he lands a shot. And he's not even using One for All. And him and Mirio actually kind of have a bit of a bout for a little bit. Quickly, though, Mirio goes intangible, clacks Deku again. Just, but Deku, unlike in the original, does not go down. Because this Deku is trained for combat. And he just, it's like, you've been a good opponent, but all of a sudden Deku counterattacks, just hits him straight in the nose. It's like, and Miro's like, when was the last time someone was actually able to hit me? It's like, not going down that easy. And it's just disappears. Just, doing energy blasts, all that. It's like, everyone's like, should we get involved? Do you want to? It's like, this is awesome. I haven't had this much fun in a while. And then Midoriya just, powers up. Basically kind of like a Ki Aura with One for All. Just goes 10%. And he just suddenly goes all, he's like, he's faster. Like, holy crap. Like, what? It's like, what is this? And finally, Midoriya, he just tries to grab him, gets through him, moves through Mirio again. Mirio is about to grab him until Black Whip comes out, grabs Mirio, and slams him into the ground. Like he, almost like Venom symbiote style. Like, what the heck is that? And it's like, it's another aspect of Midoriya's quirk, maybe? Well, it's like, but Midoriya doesn't have a quirk, right? Because that's the thing, is that by all accounts, he acts like he has a quirk, but technically speaking, Midoriya could do, except for the Black Whip stuff, all of this without a quirk. He can utilize his life force and create ki. Still, they're just like, maybe that's part of it was part of his training? And Midoriya just, like, stands, Oh man, this guy's good. And Mario finally just goes, yoink! And he's also kind of like, that was awesome! And Midoriya actually, you really are strong! Holy crap! I haven't been pushed this hard in a long time. All right, I think that's enough. What? Oh, come on. Even Midoriya's like, well, we're just getting started. Like, that's enough. You guys are going to end up wrecking the gymnasium at this point. They look around and see the damage. Oh, whoopsie. And so, no, all right, I think that's enough. Class 1A, it's like you've proven you actually can roll with the big boys a little bit. All right. And so, obviously, his internship with Night Eye, he goes with Mario for that. So Mario's like, oh, yeah, you're going to love Night Eye. He was once All Might's sidekick. Wait, he was? Oh, man, wait, does he know about One for All? Does he, it's like, excuse me, what? Nothing. And sure enough, they go in and he's tickling, what was she, just Bubble Girl? I can't remember her name. It's like, I see. And he just look. So yeah, I see. So you're the one he gave One for All to. I don't approve. Because here's the thing. Midoriya could literally have perfected One for All at that point, and Night Eye almost certainly still would have said no. Because Night Eye, as much as we do actually love Night Eye, at that point in time, he's way too wrapped up in his own bullshit. He's way too wrapped up in it. And again, I appreciate where Night Eye's coming from and trying to protect All Might, but it's not his choice to make about what happens to One for All or All Might in the long haul. Like, he's acting more or less like a child. And he carried that clearly into adulthood, that a little bit of resentment, and whether you admit it or not, there's some resentment there. There is. With that said, however, he says, all right, if you can get this weight in under 3 minutes, I'll agree to allow you to be an intern under me. And the question just comes in, even with Future Sight. If you just have the raw speed advantage over someone with a Future Sight, doesn't matter. Like, he foresees the direction Midoriya is coming from, but if he can't stop, like, if he sees Midoriya grabbing it, well, then does he? See, those are the catch-22s of actual precognition. Is that it's say, okay, I see the future coming, but if you're moving at such a speed that when it happens and I can't react, can I actually stop it? Technically speaking, Midoriya should be able to move at speeds like that, and he shouldn't be able to stop it. However, I think the reason it could still work that way is because the All Mights are there and doesn't want to damage them. But Midoriya's just like, all right then, it's like, you don't even try your hypnosis. I've already seen it, and your electroshock surprise. Damn it! And so Midoriya ultimately almost gets it but fails. Because actually, he almost did get the weight, and that's when Night Eye realized he failed because he was avoiding the All Mights. Huh. All right, well, see what you got. And sure enough, he notices that as well, and him and Mirio, go down their way, protect it, find Eri, encounter Overhaul. Mirio, though, lets him go, and Midoriya doesn't like him until he explains why he let him go. And so, yeah, that would still happen, which would lead us fast forward us all the way to Overhaul versus Midoriya. Midoriya comes in. He's probably rocking at this point 30% One for All, easy. And it's like, don't you touch Eri! 30%! And his bones are he feels his bones creaking a bit, but he's like, I can still hold it. And he just rushes in, boom! Starts just delivering the pain on Overhaul. Overhaul isn't even able to, he's almost able to grab him, but and just boom, boom. Ultimately, he goes into giant monster form. Even Midoriya's like, crap. It's like, oh, fine, 100%. And because he's got no choice. And then obviously that's when he blasts Overhaul apart, only for Overhaul to reform to the giant kaiju form. It's like, wait, my body's okay. Eri, did you do this? I could use 100% of One for All, so long as you're able to rewind the damage. All right, Eri. I'm counting. This is you and me. And so they're going back and forth again. He's blitzing him at this point, using Black Whip, grabbing only him. It's like, I will not be denied. And it's like the kind of hero that people can look towards and rely upon. The kind of hero that can save a little girl when she needs help. And he's just going through it. That's the kind of hero I want to be. Hits him, but then just Kame, and just he just gets blown apart. And then obviously Ares' quirk starts to go haywire before, Eraserhead stops it. So that would lead us to the sports festival. I don't think he'd have really any real legit problem with Gentle Criminal. Yes, making the air rubberized would be difficult for a little bit, but Deku at this point actually also probably has Danger Sense. Like at this point in time, Danger Sense is probably not just activated due to just the nature of that fight. And he's just far faster, stronger, more skilled. So I do think he would just put him down. The joint training mission also just goes a lot easier. He can just blitz. I can never remember copy guy's name. He can just blitz the majority of that class. And I think he does. Really, it wouldn't be until you fast forward till him versus Shigaraki the first time around out, where Shigaraki's now causing havoc. Endeavor tries to incinerate him. Prominent simulation! And Midoriya comes in, and he's probably not up to 40% at this point in his career. He probably even has fog. He does not have gear shift or Fajin yet, which again kind of acts a little bit like a Kaioken. Not anywhere near as good, but a Kaioken nonetheless. So him and Shigaraki are scrubbed. He's just laying into Shigaraki. Midoriya, please hand over one for all. It's like, hell no. Boom, 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 just laying into him, just boom, 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 and they're going back and forth. He's now just full on, basically 100% Kamehameha. Finally, just hits him with one point blank as he tries to steal one for all, tries to steal one for all, only for the quirk and the vestiges to fight him off, and all of a sudden his hand just boom, gets repelled back. Only for him to see the light just and just even with his regeneration, he's hurting, especially because his incubation time was cut short. And just wait, what day is it? Just you get this win this time. It's like, no, damn it, no. Ugh. And he gets away. And really, the next part of his story would be the Vigilante arc. I still think Deku would go on the Vigilante arc, but now All Might is talking not just with Gran Torino, but with Roshi about what's going on with Deku. So, the boy has a lot going on his plate. After all, everyone now knows about one for Overhaul and All for One. I mean, the boy's going to have a target on him the entire time. The least we can do is try to help him out with that. But it's not about whether we want to help him, Master. It's about whether or not he's willing to accept the help. He's thinking he has to do all of this on his own. It's not unsurprising. I mean, after all, even with the support we all had back in our days, really, the threats we fought, we were mostly we were not together, united on it at the time. Hence, Midoriya, please be careful. And so, Midoriya is just trying to get on with his life, but people aren't letting him, obviously. And eventually, Class 1A tries to stop him. Now, there's a real argument to say he could just get away from them if he really wanted to. But again, Ida, we know they'd all been trained. So Ida, Shoto, they can kind of keep him in place for a little bit. And I think they could still keep him there long enough to break him down. Really, what it comes down to is the finale. It's like, I'm fine! It's like, no, you're not. That's okay. Bring him back to UA. And it is kind of the final fight scenario. And I think they all have walkies on them, like little ear pierces to hear what's going on. Midoriya gets separated as he does. Joe's like, no, don't go! Let me drink your blood. No, that's not how people who like each other do things. It's like, but I love you, Midoriya. It's like, no. It's like, fine, he's got to get out of there. And of course, at this point, he has Fajin and Gear Shift. He's using float, gusts of wind, his training, and he's using a little bit of gear shift, I believe, to get there as fast as he can. Ultimately, him and Shigaraki square off. He's now using Fajin with probably about 55 to 60% of One for All. He's still not at 100%. and they're going 100% at each other. He's wrapping himself up in the gauntlets of Black Whip. Just boom, 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 boom. They're clashing. It's just going all ham. Kamehameha Black Whips. Just like he throws a giant like hand-shaped Black Whip that has a Kamehameha. I can totally see him doing that, by the way. I don't think there's any real reason to think that Black Whip couldn't do something in that vein. Like create a basic construct that looks like a hand, and so you just and then just which is to kind of do Kamehameha that way. They're just clashing, and Shigaraki would be getting more beat up here because Deku's got more abilities. And he just gets hit with gear shift. Electric shock surprise! Really, is that the best you can? All of a sudden, there's like doppelgangers of him after him. And just you are SGP boy. It's like, what is this? I said no. And then again, they're just clashing. Meanwhile, though, you would get All Might fighting All for One. But it's not just All Might. Now, Gran Torino, we know, isn't on the battlefield. He's actually missing a leg at this point, so he can't really fight anymore. But I would say it's near All Might's defeat, where he's about to sacrifice himself. And then All for One, counters to death. All Might, you really are pathetic. You really are pathetic. I would kill you, but I first want you to see how you lose. And all of a sudden, you lay your hand off my student. And there's Roshi, no turtle shell, and not buff at the moment, but he's got his staff raising. Old man, Mutan Roshi, I've heard of you, though I'll admit, I wasn't complete. I've never believed we'd ever actually meet. Neither was I, but unfortunately, we have a friend in common. My two friends in common. My two students. Meanwhile, Deku can hear some of what's going on the other line because he hears All Might. The Roshi, what are you doing? He's like, Master Roshi, don't worry, boys. Don't worry, boys. All Might, you rest up easy. We'll wait for I'll hold him off until the countering arrives. That's it. You really think, at your age, with your pathetic, feeble amount of power, that you'll really be able to all of a sudden just gets hit right in the face? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you with my foot in your mouth. Now it just starts to go into a fight with Roshi. He rotates back and forth from his buff form to his skinny form because he can't maintain the buff form very long. But he kind of does the All Might trick where he just temporarily deflates. Electric shock surprise! You little... all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, he's just firing back. It's a beam. I told you, old man. I told you. I asked you a question, old man. You really think you'll beat me with such weak power? Just blast Roshi back. He starts smacking Roshi around. Roshi even maybe gets impaled on some rebar. Just Roshi! Your time is done, old man. It's my time. My time. Yeah. It's like you're just a product of a bygone era too. Perhaps. But perhaps I was. But I will soon be the future, All Might. Know that. Now accept your limitations and stay down, old man. Maybe you'll live to see the world that comes from us. My limitations can go straight to hell. Master Roshi, don't do this. Don't push yourself too hard. Deku, Toshinori, you're the one who showed this old fossil he still had something left to give. That was too soon to let the limits of age sentence him to sit idly by on the sidelines. You boys who never were content to stop and who kept aiming and climbing for greater and greater heights, want me to take it easy? Fat chance! And he starts just charging Kamehameha. It's like, and then Midoriya's like, All Might, what's going on? All Might! And All for One just starts, using an electric attack or something to try to bite him. Will you just give it up? Just go down already! Now listen to me, boys!
Always remember these words. Work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. That is the Turtle Hermit way. We must master the art of peace in addition to the art of war. Let's go down. Remember, the Turtle School will always be with you. This will be my greatest and final Kamehameha!
It just boom. One for all's now like, or all for one's just,
Why won't you die?
just blasts him, just hits him, just boom, carves him out. And we know that the regeneration caused him to de-age the more damage he takes. He's pretty much now where Bakugo would have found him at this point.
You stupid old man! I hate you! I hate you all! I hate you! Go to sleep now, youngster.
Master Roshi. And Master Roshi falls. And, Master! Midoriya hears that on the other line, saying, now, what was that feeling? Felt like something just got snuffed out. Midoriya? Where are you? Powers up the full one for all at this, or one for all, 100%. Boom! Like he's bracing himself with Black Whip and all that, and somehow his bones are barely remaining in place. He's now just pummeling Shigaraki into even Shigaraki's like, how do you get this much stronger? And then he just adds Fajin onto it. This one's from Master Roshi! Come on! It's just, even Shigaraki can't handle it. Like his hands are starting to literally, my hands, and like they're trying to regenerate, but they can't. Like just get blasted back. And now Deku's arms are just completely just done. Like they're not gone like they were in the original series, but they're shattered. Like they're not usable at all. Just, and all of a sudden, just hear that rubble moving. And unfortunately, Aizawa has lost sight of Shigaraki. So, and Monoma, that's his name, Monoma. And like, where did he go? And because they lost sight, his regeneration was able to kick back in more effectively. So he was able to save himself. But even with the regeneration, he's just like, yeah. That's really your power. Really is something else, kid. It's like he's still standing. And it's like, and Deku's just bracing himself with everything he can, just coming in to fight him again. And and then it pretty much goes down towards how it more or less ended in the series, with him starting to chisel away at the mental barriers of Shigaraki with One for All. Eventually losing One for All, the Demon King arises, and this time he in the honor of his master, takes it down not with a United States or a smash attack, but he also remembers how All Might did. Just rushes in, just disappears right there because despite not having One for All, he's still deceptively fast, and even One for All is just, or All for One is just like, what? Smash! Turtle Hermit smash! Boom! And just finally does the finishing blow in honor of his master. No! And has the last moment with Shigaraki, and it's all wonderful. We would catch up with the aftermath at this point. And the thing is, he doesn't even mean that suit he gets at the end to be a hero. He can still very much be a hero. But we catch up to the aftermath, and, we talk, Deku's in the hospital, all that. It's like, Master Roshi. It's like, who's calling my name? Am I in heaven? Where are all the beautiful angels? It's like, Master Roshi sees Roshi. Oh, Midoriya boy. Oh, thought I had a private room. Oh, it's like, well, you're okay. I told you, boy. You showed me I still had something more to give. Shame to for me to die before I had a chance to brag about it. There's a laugh. Now, how did Roshi survive this? I think there could have been, because we did see the portals with Kurogiri, and there could have been some shenanigans that allowed it to happen. Or, someone got to the medical field, like Bakugo got to the battlefield just in time to allow it to happen. Or, get him to some medical attention. Because Roshi was dead at that point. Or he was so close to death that he seemed dead. He might not have been completely dead yet. Because they didn't eliminate him. That was the key thing. That Omni Kings did not eliminate him from the tournament. So I'm not sure it's because they didn't know he was dead. But to be fair, all the Angel Attendants have really good senses, including the Grand Priest himself. So I think it was less that he was dead, and more that he was about to die. I think that's how they would handle it here. All Might, you can make an argument, has just like enough tech left on him from his suit to maybe have some like emergency first aid to kind of stabilize him enough to keep him there going until they get into an actual proper hospital. Pick whatever your argument for him surviving is. But it all ends well. Midoriya covers Uraraka before she, the implication was she was going to jump. She wasn't going to jump. But he comforts Uraraka, so that's great. He, is still a hero as well as a teacher. And, it's time for the next generation to be taking over. And so that is the end of What If Izuku Midoriya, or What If Deku, trained under Master Roshi. The minute I knew I had Master Roshi in this series, I knew I had to do the tournament of power bit. And it had to be against One for All, or All for One. It had to be against All for One. So I knew I had to do that bit, and I'm glad I did it. I have no regrets on that front. So that just leaves us next week with What If Midoriya was Captain Marvel, the Carol Danvers version, which means he's going to be busted. I will try to limit it a little bit for the world that we're in, but I'll still make him Captain Marvel. Which means energy absorption of the yin-yang, flight capable of surviving in space, binary form, energy blast, not invulnerability. Man. Well, Carol's actually not invulnerable because she absorbs energy, including kinetic energy. It's difficult to injure her. Anywho, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.